You're with the news on Times Now, and the day's biggest news break right here, where we've got inside details of what happened at the all-party meeting convened by the Prime Minister. Let's go straight across to Navika Kumar. Yes, Navika.
Well, we have inside news coming in from the all-party meeting. While Congress President Sonia Gandhi has continued to point fingers at Prime Minister Modi and say that we are still in the dark without any information on many things and why this all-party meeting hadn't been called earlier, every single other party has backed the Prime Minister completely, unconditionally. That's the big scoop. Well, Sharad Pawar, the first leader who has poked holes into Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi's theories, have said that issues of whether soldiers carried arms or not are decided by international agreements, and we need to respect such sensitive matters.
Yeah.
So lesson number one going out to Rahul Gandhi, that instead of questioning the army on whether they carried their weapons or not, should be left to the army and international agreements on this front, and not question them at this stage, because these are sensitive matters.
So even allies are backing the government, but the Congress...
One minute, Padmaja, if you can just hold on. Let me tell you other leaders who have said very important things. KCR of the TRS has said PM's clarity on Kashmir has angered China. Prime Minister's emphasis on Kashmir's development has also angered China. He stressed that the Prime Minister's call of Atmanirbhar Bharat has rattled China. So KCR also coming out and Telangana supporting Modi. Prem Singh Tamang, who is the SKM leader, said that we have full faith in the Prime Minister. This is the Sikkim Kranti Party, and this is also another backing, another endorsement of Prime Minister. But no surprise, D. Raja of the CPI said that we need to resist US efforts to drag us into their alliance. And of course, Sitaram Yechuri of the CPIM stressed on principles of Panchsheel, which have no condemnation of China coming in from both the left parties, and they're more worried about US and India's alliance rather than worried about China, making incursions into India. Pinaki Mishra of the BJT said we stand with the government fully and unconditionally. So that is again Naveen Patnaik backing the Prime Minister. Mayawati, the BSP Supremo, has appreciated the detailed presentation that was made by the External Affairs Minister. She stressed on taking appropriate measures on trade and investment front to counter China. She said this is not time for politics, and she firmly stands with the Prime Minister on whatever decisions he takes. MK Stalin of the DMK as well said we are united when it comes to patriotism. Welcome recent statements by the Prime Minister on China issue. Conrad Sangma said that infrastructure work along the border should not stop. We should not succumb to pressure from China, and China-sponsored activities in Myanmar and Bangladesh is worrying. PM has been working on infrastructure in Northeast, and that must go on. So another party backing Sonia Gandhi, of course, finding fault. So Padmaja, there you have it from Sharad Pawar, alliance partner of the Congress party in Maharashtra, who virtually has chided Rahul Gandhi and said that whether soldiers carry their guns or not, you don't need to get into it. That's his message. And Mayawati backing, Naveen Patnaik backing, even the DMK, another alliance partner of the Congress party, backing the Prime Minister, really leaving the Congress party red-faced, and Sonia Gandhi carrying the baton of opposition just far too long.
So they're basically the entire opposition there, standing today not in opposition, Navika, but with the government, and there are only two parties on this side. You told us about the left stand. Of course, they are still in the Panchsheel era, and now we have 6 points raised by Congress President Sonia Gandhi. If you could take us through that.
Well, yes, Congress President Sonia Gandhi also at this time saying all party meetings should have come much earlier. Even at this late stage, we are in the dark. Congress has specific questions. Which date did Chinese troops intrude? Now, she wants to go into the historical thing, not about the present situation. So she says, when did they intrude? Tell us that date. When did the government find out about the transgressions? Does the government not get satellite pictures virtually parroting the lines that Rahul Gandhi has been making. She also goes on to say efforts should have been made to talk politically. We failed to use such avenues and result was loss of lives. Well, Padmaja, shocking statement from Sonia Gandhi where she's talking about the fact that political engagement did not happen. Does Sonia Gandhi want Prime Minister Narendra Modi to go and do a handshake with Xi Jinping? You know, even if we have problems with them on the border, not talk to him as an equal, but virtually submit to China. Treacherous China, which has backstabbed the Congress so many times, but probably it was the agreement that has been signed between the Congress party's chief Sonia Gandhi and the Chinese Communist Party that probably allows Sonia Gandhi to make a statement of that kind. Padmaja, shocking statement, you know, asking for a political resolution at a time when military conflagration is going out and diplomatic and military channels are working overtime. She only wants more details. Why would she want more details, Padmaja?
More details and 6 questions. Did government find out intrusion occurred on May 5 or earlier? Does government not receive on regular basis satellite pictures of Indian borders? Did external intelligence agencies not report unusual activity? Did military intelligence not alert government? And in government's considered view, was this a failure of intelligence? So today, even you've got parties like the TRS, the NCP, the TMC saying this is not the time for politics. And we've got the principal opposition party, Navika, saying, did you fail? Your military intelligence is a failure. And this even as the standoff is on. Navika.
Well, Padmaja, at every step of the way, Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Mrs. Sonia Gandhi now have been virtually attacking the preparedness, the morale of the army. Mr. Rahul Gandhi asking the questions on why they didn't use their guns and didn't they know they were carrying guns, and did the Prime Minister send them without guns? And on the other hand, Sonia Gandhi now says, didn't you have satellite pictures? Doubting the intelligence and doubting the capability of the army, because clearly it is not the political leadership that is at the border there or working in these areas. It is really the military intelligence, and these kind of questions probably only reduce the resolve as well as the confidence levels.
Yes.
What is the Congress trying to achieve at a time when the military should be made supremely confident with the feeling that the country is right behind them in whatever decision they take? Questions and ifs and buts, will they help the situation?
And to talk about failure of intelligence at a time like this when we are still in talks with China. Stay with me, Navika. Let me also get a Nikunj Garg and Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan. Interesting that the Congress should say this. Madhav, despite being in alliance with a party whose chief was once the defense minister himself, and who today in the all-party meeting, Mr. Sharad Pawar said, listen, these are sensitive matters. These are matters which are governed by treaties. Let's just respect the sensitivity.
You know, Padmaja, what is very disturbing is the fact that, you know, not just the last 48 hours of, you know, Bab's allegations, counter allegations that we've been seeing between the Congress, particularly Rahul Gandhi raising questions, other Congress leaders also taking cue from that and taking pot shots at the government. While that is, you know, one aspect, and certainly opposition parties can question the government for where they feel they need to hold the government accountable. You know, what we were discussing even before this all-party meeting is whether the entire purpose of consensus building will really work. And now it seems that the kind of questions that Congress has raised, the kind of the decision-making process, as well as, you know, various operational and other aspects that it seems to be seeking from the government. The larger question is whether that entire exercise has been futile to that extent. Other opposition parties that you rightly mentioned over there, whether we're talking about Naveen Patnaik, whether we're talking about TRS, whether we're talking about the NCP, all of them coming out and not agreeing, not on the same page as the Congress. Even before the meeting, we had seen H.D. Deve Gowda, who, while making certain demands of the government, said that we need to be temperate even as opposition parties.
Absolutely. And you know what was very interesting, that again here is a former Prime Minister, H.D. Deve Gowda, Nikunj, who wrote that letter, but in that said, I have not 6 questions, but 6 suggestions.
Padmaja, the point is that if we go by the demands or the questions asked by the Congress president, let us assume for a moment that the government says, yes, there was an intelligence failure, and yes, we were caught napping, or our intelligence agencies were caught napping. Who benefits? At this stage, who benefits? Obviously, the government of the day, any government of the day, like post-Kargil, there was a full Subramaniam committee set up by Mr. Vajpayee. Any government of the day will do a full post-mortem of what went wrong, if at all anything went wrong to begin with. At this point in time, when the entire attempt is of consensus building, to shift the blame on the doorsteps of either the armed men, armed services men in the form of their conduct, or at the intelligence agencies in their failings that Mrs. Gandhi is trying to point out, is certainly not going to add any value to the political discourse or the administrative reach and ability of the government. You see, why is an all-party meeting called?
Okay.
Opposition is called on board, otherwise the government has the mandate. They will continue to rule. All-party meeting is called to add to the existing muscle of the government in terms of administrative political complex. At this point in time, if you indulge in finger pointing, if you indulge in accusations, then that exercise is defeated. I'm not for a moment, mind you, saying that the opposition must not ask questions. But my point is that for the pointed finger pointing at this point in time, this moment is not ripe. When Parliament comes, government opposition can demand a JPC, a committee to be set up,
in fact,
and
that's
any
the
other
point,
kind
Nikunj,
of
I want to take back. I want to take back to Navika, because again the argument will be that to ask questions, Navika, is the opposition's job. And the statement by Mrs. Sonia Gandhi starts out by saying, we stand with the army, but we need to know these answers.
Padmaja, I know the opposition has the full right to ask questions, and everybody in this country has the full right to ask questions. But when you're talking about a situation like this, virtually a war-like situation, that's how close we came to it. We lost 20 of our brave men. There are no ifs and buts. There never can be ifs and buts in such a situation. But more importantly, Padmaja, we are getting more breaking news coming in, and this should be the news that Congress President Sonia Gandhi should have been looking for. In fact, this is Mazboot Bharat, Balwan Bharat that we've been talking about. Army engineers have now completed a 60-meter bridge over Galwan River in eastern Ladakh that would consolidate India's hold over the sensitive sector by allowing Indian infantry to move across the Cold Mountain River and also protect the 255-kilometer strategic road from Darbuk to Daulat Beg Oldie, the last military post. It's a 60-meter bridge that China never wanted India to complete. The construction of the bridge has been completed today as we speak, after the army has lost 20 of its braves and after what we have seen in terms of a protracted negotiation that has been going on at the military and the diplomatic level. Work has not stopped, infrastructure building has not stopped, and this building of the bridge will actually bring a lot of strategic scope to India. The construction of this bridge was seen as one of the triggers for the aggressive maneuvers by China's People's Liberation Army, and this bridge now has been completed today. And this infrastructure by the formation engineers and the Border Roads Organization actually makes India hold its head high. That's the picture of the bridge on our screens. The four-span bridge is located 3 kilometers east of the Shyok River, Galwan River confluence, with the contested patrolling point 14, a further 2 kilometers. And if we did not have this bridge, can you imagine, Padmaja, what would have happened to patrolling point 14, 15 and 17, which are today safe, because our engineers, our border road organizations and our army men have worked tirelessly and bravely. And this is the same army who the Congress party's President Sonia Gandhi has been raising questions of, and Rahul Gandhi has been raising questions of.
Absolutely. In fact, let's pull up the other picture also, which we have access to, of this area, which marks out very clearly the location of Bailey's Bridge that Times Now has in its possession. 2 exclusive pictures. And what is also very important, and that needs to be underlined, Navika, is that the construction was finished despite the fact that there has been hostility in this area by the Chinese. They tried to get the army to abandon this project. However, that was not possible. The work went on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this 60-meter bridge is actually a lifeline for India, because the strategic position of this particular bridge gives us access and vision, line of vision over 255 kilometers of the road that is being built. And it is this road, this infrastructure building that has really made China uncomfortable. You talk to any strategic expert and they will tell you that it is this bridge and the infrastructure development that actually started this whole face-off, this whole standoff at the border. And this bridge today has been completed. Today, Thursday, the 19th of June, is a landmark day when India's brave army, the formation engineers, as well as the Border Road Organization have gotten together, completed the bridge, giving us a vantage point which gives us a strategic advantage. And this is why China was wanting to hold us back. I want to ask just one question, Padmaja. If this is strategically an achievement for India, why is the Congress party still asking questions? Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi here, and Zakir Hussain, whose tape, Tukde tape, from the councillor of the Congress party till about 2 hours ago, which tells us about what their agenda was as far as Ladakh and Kashmir were concerned.
All right, and in fact, these are two stark images that stand out today. On the one hand, there is resolve of a bridge that was critical for the access of the Indian Army to this area. Patrolling Point 14, incidentally, is where the fisticuffs, where the altercation, the face-off happened between troops from India and China this Monday. And on the other, you've got an all-party meeting that was aimed at evolving a consensus, and yet there are outliers. The consensus was to present before the world, and more importantly before China, the picture of a country that may have its differences, Navika, but in front of aggression, in the face of aggression, we stand united. Clearly, the outsiders can also see chinks in our armor.
That's right, Padmaja. You know, I don't think it's even a matter of debate. I don't think Mr. Sharad Pawar, an alliance partner of the Congress, actually wanted to debate this issue. I don't think Mayawati wanted to debate this issue. I don't think any other political party other than the Congress and, of course, the left parties, the Communist Party of India and the Communist Party of India Marxist, whose allegiance to China is well known because that is the basis of their ideology. Nobody else has questions. Now, why would the Congress look like a mirror image of the Communist Party of India is a question that the Congress needs to ask itself.
Interesting question. We're going to keep getting you the details of what happened inside the all-party meeting. Remember, you heard it first. A united front by 99% of the opposition, but there are outliers. What is their message? We will tell you all the details. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We're giving you exclusive details of what transpired at the all-party meeting. It has gone on for 2 hours now, 2.5 hours, started at 5. It's now 7:30, close to 7:30. And the big message is that all parties, even those in the opposition, are uniting not behind one party or one government, but behind India. Mamata Banerjee, chief of the Trinamool Congress, in fact, has said that whatever issues we have, whatever questions we have, we will raise internally. Today, we are just going to go along with the government. So that's what Mamata Banerjee said. Let me give you more details of what exactly was her comment. Mamata Banerjee, they're saying all-party meeting is a good message for the nation. Shows that we are united behind our Jawans. TMC in solidarity with the government. We will not say anything that gives a wrong message. Queries also we will raise internally. We will not bow before China. Very, very important and a very, very strong message that is being given by all the seasoned politicians. Mature, restrained, and most importantly, very solidly behind the government. Quick break. Welcome back. We are in fact getting you inside details of what happened at the all-party meeting, which has gone on for 2.5 hours now. But the big takeaway is that Congress and left seem to be the only two parties who have decided to take a stand against what the general sentiment is in the country right now. Congress breaking with the opposition, and take a look at the stalwarts who in fact have given a word of advice to the opposition as a whole. Sharad Pawar saying that these are international treaties, carrying of arms, etc. is governed by understanding between the two countries. It's a sensitive matter. Let's leave this conversation for another day. Mayawati saying this is not the time for politics. Even Mamata Banerjee saying who in fact has had an on and off love-hate relationship with the Prime Minister, who's exchanged barbs with him in the past as well. But today she said this is not the time to raise questions. Whatever we have, we will say it internally. We will raise those questions internally. Today we will not bow before China. But the Congress has asked 6 questions, including whether there was an intelligence failure by India. The left, refusing to condemn China or the Communist Party, decided instead to talk about Panchsheel and how India is becoming a pawn in the hands of America. That was their reasoning for what happened at Galwan. Joining us now on the show, RP Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, we have Major General Ashwini Sivach. He is the former Chief of Staff of the 14 Corps and knows, of course, that entire area inside out. Ratan Sharda, author, Chetan Singh, political analyst, and Dushyant Nagar, political analyst. दुष्यंत नागर जी, आप भी बड़े देशभक्त हैं, आप जमीन से जुड़े हुए हैं. आपको लगता है कि आज का दिन ये वक्त था जब आप अपनी सरकार से पूछे, किसी पार्टी से नहीं, अपनी सरकार से पूछे कि क्या आप फेल हो गए?
नहीं, बिल्कुल क्यों नहीं. आप एक बात बताइए, हर भारतवासी को पूछना चाहिए, 1 महीना हो गया चाइना को हमारे क्षेत्र में आए हुए. बताए सरकार की डिप्लोमेटिक लेवल पे, कूटनीतिक स्तर पे भारत की सरकार ने, हमारे विदेश मंत्री ने जो चाइना में रहे हैं, वहां पे एम्बेसडर थे और मैंने सुना है उनको चाइनीज लैंग्वेज भी बहुत अच्छे से आती है. क्या प्रयास किए, क्या कूटनीतिक प्रयास किए? अमेरिका के साथ ये हम लोग स्ट्रैटेजिक एलाइज हैं अमेरिका के. अमेरिका ने हमारे लिए क्या प्रयास किए इस मामले को शांति से सुलझाने के लिए? 60 किलोमीटर हमारी सीमा के अंदर चाइना आ गया. और अगर कांग्रेस के नेता सवाल कर रहे हैं
डेवलपिंग सिचुएशन, ये सिचुएशन अभी खत्म नहीं हुई है
के लिए, तो
अभी उस सबके बीच में आपको बताएं कि क्या कूटनीतिक, राजनीतिक और मिलिट्री प्रयास हो रहे हैं.
क्या बात कर रहे हैं? अरे 133 साल पुरानी कांग्रेस पार्टी है, उसके प्रेसिडेंट ने अगर पूछा है तो बताना चाहिए. ये राजधर्म है, सबसे बड़ी पार्टी है ऑपोजिशन की, 4-5 राज्यों में सरकार भी है और 10 उन्होंने शासन किया है. क्या आप बता नहीं सकते? उनको कॉन्फिडेंस में नहीं ले सकते?
5 मई से लेकर के 20 जून तक क्या हुआ बताइए.
की आपको घटना बताता हूं. जब नरसिम्हा राव जी की सरकार थी और यूनाइटेड नेशन के अंदर कश्मीर को लेकर प्रस्ताव चल रहा था, तो इसी कांग्रेस पार्टी ने,
अरे चलिए भाई, अब आपको सुनना है तो सुन लीजिए ना. बताइए आरपी सिंह.
डेलीगेशन का हेड बना के भेजा था.
जवाब दीजिए.
आप हर चीज को छुपाएंगे?
छुपाइए मत.
मैं आपके टीवी चैनल पे स्पष्टता के साथ कह रहा हूँ और दुष्यंत को भी कह रहा हूँ और देश को भी कह रहा हूँ और सोनिया गांधी जी को बड़ा स्पष्टता से कह रहा हूँ, भारत की 1 इंच जमीन पर भी चाइना नहीं है. ये बात आपको समझ आनी चाहिए और बड़ा स्पष्ट हो. ये मैं नहीं कह रहा कि देश के आर्मी के चीफ ने कुछ दिन पहले कहा,
बोल रहे हैं ना, ये चाइना की भाषा है, ये चाइना का विदेश मंत्री बोल रहा है. क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप? फिर क्यों गए थे हमारे सैनिक वहां रात को? अगर चाइना हमारी सीमा में नहीं आया हुआ, आप देश से झूठ बोल रहे हैं.
अरे आप
बताइए क्या? अरे सुनिए, आप बताइए, देश को सच बताइए, क्यों गई थी भारत की सेना रात को? अगर चाइना हमारी भूमि पे नहीं आया तो अभी भी आप चाइना की भाषा बोल रहे हैं. आप वही भाषा बोल रहे हैं जो चाइना बोल रहा है.
आपको जवाब देता हूं. आपको मैं,
आप चाइना की भाषा क्यों बोल रहे हैं? मैं बिल्कुल, आप बदबुचा या इनको सत्य बोलने के लिए कहिए, और नहीं तो मैं इनके साथ डिबेट नहीं करूंगा जो चाइना की भाषा बोलेंगे. क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप? अरे देश में लोगों ने कुर्बानी देकर भारत को आजाद कराया, अपना समृद्ध.
All right. एक सेकंड. Don't get incensed. Don't get so worked up, Dushyant Nagar ji. Major General Sivach, Please tell me, during a situation like this, and again I keep reiterating, let's bear in mind that this is still a developing situation. We still have the Chinese at 3 points on our land. Is this the time to start putting out white paper, or would you agree with the argument that the country does deserve to know what is going on?
Absolutely correct. You see, what happened is that we must understand this is not the time to ask questions. This is the time to consolidate and make your position very clear. See the point which you were early telling before that, Padmaya, I just want to add this Galwan bridge which has been constructed is a game changer. This bridge is on a confluence of Shok River and Galwan. By making this bridge, your feeder road which are going to patrol point 14, 15 and 17, they were used to take 3 to 4 hours. Now they will only take 40 minutes. So in spite of this tension going on, Indian Army has managed to construct a bridge on Galwan River. This is a milestone because we are not coming under pressure from Chinese. Chinese are trying their best to do everything. Where they have come, I can only clarify that this Galwan area was never a disputed area. I was Chief of Staff of 14 Corps in Leh for 11-12.
Yes.
But this time, when we have constructed this road, Darbuk, Shok, Daulatboy, Goldi, which is a game changer because we will able to overlook Karakoram highway from there. Also, we can also intervene China-Pakistan economic corridor and the road which is going from Xinjiang to Tibet through Lhasa. And it is a gateway to Aksai. So somewhere China is feeling that we are now increasing our potential to threaten the Aksai.
So China's anger is justified, Chetan Singh. What justifies your anger?
See, we need to understand here categorically, this is a democracy. In a democracy, the beauty of democracy is what? Opposition and the ruling party. The ruling dispensation is going to be get asked. There is a check and balance. In check and balance, opposition is going to play a very vital role. First, second most important point, what Major General Srivastava has said, I know him personally. I respect him a lot. Our army's valor is very well known all across the globe.
So you think in a democracy, sir, this in the middle of a standoff, you basically ask in an open forum, did you fail? Is your intelligence obsolete? And the government is supposed to say what? Yes, it is. Now China, please come talk to us. Ratan Sharda.
No, but
see, first of all, let me congratulate the Jabaz Jawans who created the bridge, which was the thorn in the flesh of Chinese. So we deserve to give 3 cheers to the army. Secondly, since Congress people don't have any faith in the Indian scriptures, let me remind that Yudhishthir had said in Mahabharata when there was a fight against Kauravas and other brothers didn't want to support, he said, Vayam Panchadikam Shatam. RSS Chief Guruji also repeated this when there was attack on India. So when an outsider attacks, we are 100 plus 5, we are not 100 minus 5. Unfortunately, Congress has isolated itself and has aligned itself with the Communist Party. So I didn't know when CPM became an INC or INC became CPM. This kind of approach. And since there are a lot of questions being asked, let me ask some questions. Is it true that Nehru fired Lieutenant General Lockhart for asking for a defense policy just before Pakistan attacked India? Is it true that Timaiya was hounded out with conspiracy because they didn't like him? Is it correct that we never had infrastructure in entire China-Tibet border? So why it was not made? I want an answer. I also want an answer why for 10 years no bulletproof jackets were purchased, why no aeroplanes or Air Force planes were purchased, why no field guns were purchased. If this is the kind of government which wanted military to go unprepared, today is laughing or ridiculing military for, the kind of unfortunate incident that happened, and in a way actually defining the value of our 20 Jawans who were killed. They also forget that Jawans, in spite of being what in position they were, they killed more Chinese.
आप बता दीजिए राणा सांगा ने किसको बुलाया था? आप बता दीजिए झांसी की रानी का कत्ल किसने करवाया था? आप इतिहास में जाना चाहते हो तो बहुत सारे सवाल है आपके लिए. आप बता दीजिए ना, झांसी रानी को किसने मरवाया? महाराणा सांगा ने बाबर को क्यों बुलाया? ऐसे 1000 साल के मैं बहुत सवाल आपसे पूछ लूंगा. आप मुझे बताइए, सिर्फ एक बात बताइए, 1 माह के अंदर भारत की सरकार ने कौन से कूटनीतिक प्रयास किए चाइना को हमारी भूमि से वापस निकालने के लिए। आप बताइए इस बात को, कहां रह जाती है वो संधि जब चाइना हमारी सीमा में घुस आया?
Sir, why are Dushyant Nagarji, please let's not go into rhetoric about Jhansi ki Rani ne kya kiya tha. The simple question being raised over here is that you've got seasoned politicians like Mamata Banerjee, Sharad Pawar saying, let politics wait for another day.
दक्षिण तिब्बत जिसको नेफा कहते थे, जो आज अरुणाचल है, उसको भारत में मिलाया। बात नहीं करते आप। नेहरू जी, थिमैया, अरे क्या गा रहे हो आप होश में आइए। हिंदुस्तान को बर्बाद मत करिए।
चीन को भेंट किया, पंचशील की
आप
बात
क्या
कर
बात
रहे हो?
करते हैं?
पंचशील
आपने
जैसे कुछ नहीं
सबसे
किया, केवल
पहले प्रधानमंत्री बनने के बाद 5,000 एकड़ जमीन आपने बांग्लादेश को दे दी।
लोगों का इतिहास बताओ।
आपने क्या किया?
आप इतिहास रोक नहीं सकते। मैंने जितने सवाल किए इसमें एक का जवाब दीजिए, हिम्मत है तो।
दुष्यंत नागरजी, आप नेफा में चले गए, आप झांसी तक चले गए, वहां पर लेफ्ट जो है पंचशील की बात कर रहा है। आप अगर इतिहास में ही फंसे रहेंगे तो अभी प्रेजेंट को कौन देखेगा? Who's going to talk about what's happening in the present and to ensure there's no more conflict in the future if you're just going to keep harking back to the past? Anyhow, the all-party meeting is yet to end. We are hoping to get a statement when that does end. So keep tuned, stay tuned to Times Now because you'll hear the first details. Of course, what happened inside we already told you, but let's see when that statement comes. For the time being, thank you very much all gentlemen for joining me. Welcome back. News is coming in of big development in the Vijay Mallya case. So the Supreme Court has sought an explanation from its registry for not listing Mallya's appeal against his conviction. The names of registry officials who dealt with Mallya's file sought by judges of the Supreme Court. Now, very, very interesting turn of events. Harish is with us on this story. Very mysterious developments. What really happened there?
That's right, Padmaja. This is a very big development, as rightly put, coming from the Supreme Court at a time when India awaits extradition of Vijay Mallya after he lost his plea in the UK Supreme Court to appeal against the 2018 extradition order. The Supreme Court, in a very significant order, has sought an explanation from its registry as why a review plea filed by Vijay Mallya against the July 14, 2017 judgment wherein he was found guilty of contempt for not paying rupees 9,000 crore worth of dues to the banks despite repeated direction was not listed for a full 3 years despite he filing it within the limitation period. And now we have to wait and watch the outcome of the probe which will be undertaken by the judges and see if it is an attempt by Mallya to delay his sentencing. Remember, the Supreme Court is waiting for his extradition and he be brought before them for pronouncing his sentence after convicting him for contempt. Very significantly, the registry has been asked to furnish all the details, including the name of the officials who had dealt with the file concerning the review petition for the last 3 years. The explanation has been sought within 2 weeks, that is by June 30th.
So to paraphrase what you are saying, and of course we don't want to jump to conclusions, but would it be right to say that the Supreme Court suspects that there was a deliberate attempt to try and slow down the entire process to get Mallya back to India?
Yes, yes, there is a very that possibility because this is why the Supreme Court has sought a explanation from the registry as to why, despite Vijay Mallya filing the review petition within the limitation period, why a delay of 3 years in listing the review plea, because it is been noted that Supreme Court is waiting for the government to produce him, before them pronounce the sentence in the conviction, because the sentence in a conviction case, in a contempt case, cannot be pronounced without hearing the concerned
there has been misdemeanor of any kind, then it deserves to be punished in the strictest way. And as Harish is breaking, it's a Times Now exclusive that the process has already started. It has come to the notice of the Supreme Court. Let's see where this goes. For the time being, Harish, thanks very much for joining us. That's it then from me on this edition of The Nation Wants to Know. I will see you next at 10 p.m. on the News Hour Agenda.